Imagine you're standing on a street corner. To your left, a cup of coffee costs $1.50. It's hot, it's caffeinated, and it's fine. To your right, a cup of coffee costs $7.50. It's also hot, it's also caffeinated, but it has a green mermaid on it and a name that sounds like a Renaissance painter. Mathematically, the $7 coffee makes no sense. It's 500% more expensive for the same biological result. Yet millions of people, maybe even you, choose the $7 cup every single morning. Why? Most people say branding or quality, but that's a surface-level answer. The real reason is a complex, invisible game played by corporations against the hardware of your own brain. Today, we're looking at the game theory of the morning ritual. We're going to see how companies like Starbucks didn't just sell coffee, they hacked a psychological loophole called price anchoring and forced the entire market into a Nash equilibrium that keeps your wallet empty. To understand why you pay $7 for coffee, we first have to understand the anchor. In the 1970s, coffee was a commodity. It was like salt or flour. You didn't care where it came from, you just wanted it cheap. The anchor price for a cup of coffee was about 50 cents. If a shop tried to charge $2, people would have started a riot. Then came the premiumization strategy. Game theory suggests that humans don't actually know what anything is worth. We only know what things are worth relative to other things. This is relative valuation. When Starbucks entered the scene, they didn't just raise the price, they changed the environment. They gave you leather chairs, jazz music, and baristas. By changing the context, they broke your old anchor. Suddenly, you weren't comparing their coffee to the 50-cent diner cup. You were comparing it to a luxury experience. Once they convinced the world that coffee could cost $5, they set a new price anchor. Now, when you see a $7 coffee, your brain doesn't think that's 14 times the price of 1970s coffee. It thinks, well, it's only $2 more than the basic one. The game was won before you even took a sip. But here's the real question. If coffee is so cheap to make, why doesn't a competitor just come in and sell it for $2 to steal all the customers? This brings us to one of the most famous concepts in game theory, the Nash equilibrium. Named after mathematician John Nash, an equilibrium is a state where no player can improve their position by changing their strategy alone. Let's look at the coffee war game. 1. Scenario A, both shops charge $7. They both make huge profits. Scenario B, Shop A drops their price to $2 to steal customers. Shop B is forced to drop their price to $2 to survive. Now, they both have the same number of customers as before, but they are both making way less money. In the coffee industry, the major players have reached a silent agreement. They know that if they start a price war to the bottom, everyone loses. So they compete on vibe, loyalty apps, and seasonal flavors, but they all keep the price anchored high. This is a coordination game. As long as everyone keeps the price high, the big coffee players stay rich. And because you, the consumer, are already anchored to high prices, you don't even complain. There's one final layer to this game, loss aversion. Companies use loyalty programs to ensure you never leave the equilibrium. When you have stars or points in an app, your brain stops seeing the $7 as an expense and starts seeing it as an investment toward a free drink. Game theory tells us that humans feel the pain of a loss twice as much as the joy of a gain. If you go to a different coffee shop, you aren't just buying coffee, you are losing progress toward your free drink. You are now locked into a sunk cost fallacy. You spend $70 on 10 coffees just to get one $7 coffee for free. So, what's the lesson? The $7 coffee isn't a mistake. It's the result of a perfectly executed game of psychology and market theory. The next time you're in line, ask yourself, am I buying this because I want it or because I've been anchored to believe it's the standard? The world is full of these invisible games, from the price of your iPhone to the way your Netflix subscription is billed. Understanding the theory doesn't just save you money, it lets you see the board while everyone else is just a piece in the game.